how have you been since Squid Game? Like, how's things for you at the moment? Yeah, what's the afterlife like for you?
Yeah, it's a quick afterlife too. No, it's things are good. It was like a lot, so much in a 3 week span when the episodes were being released, and I feel like it is finally like slowed down, so I can get back into like a little bit of normal life and see like what's next for me. So yeah, I feel good.
Well, have you got plans down the line? Are you going to do more TV? Is that what you plan to do in the future?
Yeah, I hope so. I think there's going to be an opportunity. I actually have a meeting this week with one of the Netflix casting members.
Oh well,
So we're going to kind of see what that looks like. I don't know how that's going to go, or they're going to present me with some potential options.
okay,
Um, I don't know if you've heard, I recently, or when I actually, how I got onto Squid Games, I originally applied for a dating show.
okay,
So who knows, that might be in my future. If there's an opportunity there, I might take
okay.
that.
Is that
Or
what you're
maybe
looking
another
for then? Is
competition.
that what you're looking for realistically then, dating? Is that why you're
Yeah.
going into shows and things like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I want a wife, I want a family. I think that's been like
Mm,
my biggest goal since I've been a teenager. It just didn't happen as quickly for me. I had successes in other parts of life, which I'm very, very fortunate for because that those were other goals that I had.
mm,
But that's like the last thing I feel like I have to do is have a family, someone to go through life with.
mm. Relationships are naturally quite hard these days, though. Anyway, aren't they? It's quite hard
Yeah,
to talk to people and get socializing because it's all about social media these days and fame.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's like it's quite hard to find
Yeah,
something normal.
everyone's walking around life like this, so you can't
Yeah,
talk to them. They're
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just they got their phone and they're like this, and
Mm,
then you got to get on the apps, and then that has a bad rap. So it's just like it is quite hard. I mean, yeah, it is. It's tough. There's
mm.
so much stimulation out there. Everyone is just overly stimulated, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard to just get back to the basics of human interaction and human experience.
Mm, mm. So did you say you applied for a dating show originally before Squid Game? Like, what happened with the audition? What was your process going in to the
So,
show?
well, I didn't even get a call back. So it was actually Love is Blind, and
Okay,
I just
yeah.
saw that they were casting for, I don't know where I got, maybe saw it online or got an email. I got something, and it said casting for Phoenix and Las Vegas. And I don't know if you know, I live in both Phoenix and Las Vegas. I go back and forth for
Mm,
poker, and so I was like, oh, this is perfect. And I just applied, and I never got any call back. So I don't know if they actually even filmed in that
okay.
season because I know the Denver one just came out last.
Mm,
If it unless it comes out next, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't even end up like finding enough people or the right people for it. I'm not even sure if they went on with Phoenix.
okay, okay. Well, maybe you could try Married at First Sight or something similar like that.
Oh, that would
I
be
could see you in
crazy.
that show, to be fair. I think that could work.
Yeah. I actually have not seen that show, but just by the sound of it, I feel like I have a good
Okay.
gist
Yeah,
of
you
what
don't
it
know
is
much about it then. It's a similar sort of show, like to
as
the other
Love is Blind.
reality TV shows. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna talk to him this week and see what my options are, but
Mm,
see.
okay. Did you have a game plan going into Squid Game when you went in? Like, what was your plan going into the show, or was you just figuring out as you went? What's the story for you?
Yeah, honestly, it was a little bit of both. I had like a mini game plan, but it wasn't like I didn't go see. That's what I think is the difference between me and everyone else. Like I went in there for an experience. I didn't go in there thinking I'm gonna win $4.5 million, because you're
Mm,
just gonna get disappointed. You're gonna put a lot of pressure on yourself. And I just went in there just to have a good time. So my overall game plan was to just kind of stay in the background at first.
mm,
Don't volunteer for anything, just kind of hang out. I wanted to like I wanted to last a little bit because it would have been just so disappointed to go in there and as it was to a lot of people and just be eliminated. Like you don't even get to sleep one night in there. I
mm,
wanted the full experience. So I was like, if I hang out in the background, kind of tone down my personality a little bit, I won't anger anybody, and maybe I'll be able to slide through for a
mm,
few of the challenges, and that's kind of what I did at first. And
yeah.
then as it wintered or withered down, the people started getting eliminated. I feel like you can kind of let your personality out a little bit more, make sure you have your connections, and that's when I started, I guess, coming a little bit more alive.
Mm. A lot of people said that in the podcast. Like they said, they all wanted to, stay at the back a little bit, but it seemed like it didn't work out for them, and they all had quite a lot of screen time. For some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
I
is
guess it's just different. There's so much luck involved in like you do one little thing or you say one wrong thing to one person, then you don't know how that's going to affect you or word gets out and then this person doesn't like you. I mean, there's so many like random luck factors. It's actually kind of crazy.
yeah, yeah. Did you start to pick up on other players doing a similar thing to you though? Like, did you start noticing other players' weaknesses as well and start using them to your advantage, or did you sort of just stay at the back?
I mean, yeah, it was mostly just staying for the back. I knew some of the other people that had the same strategy because we would talk about it. And then
Mm,
there was other people who maybe I didn't talk to as much, but you can see just the way they were moving. They were being too loud. They're, like the twins, for instance. I feel like they were just doing too much. They volunteered too much, and then they put themselves in the front of the line at catch, which is just not a good look. I think they just some people aren't aware, like, hey, everyone's paying attention to everything. We don't have anything to do in here. So we're hyper focused on like what everyone else is doing. And like when you just put yourself in the front of a line and you're like a really good, I mean, they're athletic, right? That was kind of messed up to everybody else. So I think everybody took note of like little things like that. And then they're like, okay, this was messed up. This person's on my radar. So you really just, yeah, you're just like people watching a lot and trying to figure out how to navigate these people and like, yeah,
yeah.
hyper focused on that, I guess.
Wow. So you think the twins were quite full on in the show then? Like a little bit out there. Um,
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I think it's all just a direct correlation of them volunteering for the first thing because then they already knew like, okay, now they're front and center. So I
mm,
think they just kind of had to ride with that. But then making those micro decisions past that, like, yeah, you're trying to lead your group or your team, but like that was a selfish decision. So
mm,
you have to make some non-selfish moves. You have to play as like a team player, look out for like your people, and all while trying to stay alive yourself.
yeah, yeah. Do you think they were quite desperate for screen time as well then? Like because of the fame they've already had going in before going
Um,
in?
I guess I can't say to that because I don't know what level of fame
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had before that. But I think there was a lot of that in general in there. It was a lot
Mm,
of people looking for screen time. And I won't lie. I mean, I even wanted some screen time, like at least a little bit. That was my goal. I just wanted like
mm.
a tiny bit of screen time.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
way you can show my parents, like, hey, I was in there,
yeah.
like, because
But you ended
if
up a
you're showing
finalist
it off, I
anyway.
would,
Yeah.
what?
No, but you ended up a finalist anyway, so it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I did not expect that. I didn't plan for that. I mean, that just kind of, yeah, that happened so quickly.
mm,
And especially in like the slides and ladders, like that's when everything changed. Like, I mean, obviously there was like 20, 21 or something like that left.
yeah,
But once me and my mate had to go down the slides and one of us was going to be removed from the game, I kind of wanted it to be me. And that's when like everything just changed. And I was like, I don't give a shit. Like
yeah,
I turned red and I'm like, I'm just coming for everyone. And like I guess I came out more than I even wanted to just because I was triggered.
mm.
But
Do you
yeah,
think, yeah,
that wasn't the goal. I had like a top 100 goal and then I had like a top 50 goal and then when there was 20 left, I'm like I don't know how I even made it here to be
mm,
honest.
mm. Do you think Mingle is what caused the tension for for the next challenge, or do you think it was literally just the tension that built up on its own between you and
Um,
Perla as well?
Well, the me and Perla were, I think that was just different, but I think Mingle is where it started for everyone across the board because
Mm,
we were all just friendly. Nobody really had beef, to my knowledge, no like direct beef. And then once Mingle hit, I think that's when it kind of put everything into perspective for people where it's like, hey, this is real now. You got to look out for yourself. This is very hectic. And the edit was soft. It was a soft edit. We were
mm,
cussing up a storm in there. We were screaming at each other. And there was a lot that just wasn't shown. We were in the rooms just like we were going off. So that just I think really put it into perspective to everyone. Like, hey, now the competition is getting real. There's, I think during Mingle there was like 40 something players left around in that game. And that's when we were all like, okay, well, this is now we can't be, it's not going to be a friendly game anymore. Um, so that's where it flipped. I didn't have any direct anything with Perla. I actually didn't even really talk to her that much
okay,
until the whole um slides and ladders,
yeah,
but I found out that that's when everybody started realizing the poker thing because I was keeping that under wraps at first. I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
talking about it, only a couple people. And then I realized I had a big target on my back around that time. So that's kind of when they went for us. And I later found out they were specifically targeting me. Like they didn't have a problem with Kevin,
yeah.
402, but they were like they wanted me out. And unfortunately for them, they got him out and not me. But
Did Netflix know about your poker experience before going in? Like, was that in the audition, like going in the show? Um,
Yeah,
okay,
I made a big point to like put that
okay,
in my there was like I think there was 100 or 150 questions we had to answer
mm,
online, and then we had to make like a little submission video, and I believe I put it in both and just talked about it quickly
wow,
because there's so many parallels to poker tournaments and Squid Game because there's a lot of luck involved. It's about navigating people. You have to understand what this person thinks, what they think about you, how they're going to respond because they think about you. And it's the same with the poker in poker.
mm,
When you have an opponent, depending on what they think about you, is going to depict how they play that hand against you. So I kind of explained that quickly in my audition video and just said, this is a big poker tournament. This is what I do. That's why I'm going to win. And I think that's ultimately why I got casted.
Do you think Netflix knew it was going to cause some controversy in the show? Do you think they knew to bring you in because of the poker as well?
I
Yeah.
think 100%, yes. And people don't know this, and I've said this a few times. I was not the only millionaire in the show. There was, I mean, I could count, if I were to guess, obviously there was a lot of people that got knocked out right away with the X's and the O's. If I were
Mm,
to guess, though, I'd say there's about 10% of the people in there were millionaires. So
wow.
I could count 10, and that's just like from people like at the very like kind of middling stages, but there was half the people I didn't even get more than half I didn't even get a chance to meet.
Mm,
So I would guess there was probably about 40 or so. And I think they wanted that dynamic, like people that are starving for money and then people that already have it and just see kind of how the
yeah.
gameplay
What
changes.
What do you think made them realize that your story is more important for the screen? Like, what do you think brought out you more to the TV than other players in there that were millionaires as well? Like, because surely there must have been some discussion about it between the other players too, if that makes sense.
Well, I think just lasting longer. I think that
Yeah.
if I didn't last that long, they wouldn't have even shown me at all. Like, because they kind of backtrack it to see how far you go, and then they say, okay, well, we need to focus on this person at this point, and it's kind of like that's how they do the storyline. I mean, I won't name any names, but there was a few millionaires still in there that did make it kind of
Mm,
far, that have a decent amount of screen time, but maybe they're not publicly millionaires. My,
okay.
my problem is like you can Google it and find out, like, right? But most people, they work a normal job, but maybe they're successful. You don't know they're a millionaire,
Mm,
but I've had like behind the scenes chats with a few people
well,
just because, you're just talking, you just talk about everything. So you get to know
yeah.
a little bit more about everyone's story, but I just, I'm not gonna
Did you put
put
it
that.
out there on Google yourself, or did they find that out about you?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That'd be a crazy
Yeah. Yeah. Gonna
strategy.
get into conspiracies now.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
there's this site called the Hendon Mob, and it's like poker tournament tracker. So
Mm,
like any poker tournament you've ever played in, every person has a profile on there. So it's like you can't. I mean, I could email them and have them remove that if I wanted to, but it's
okay.
like it's kind of like I mean, I don't know, it's how people look up each other in the poker world. So like if you're at a table and you want to like scout your players, if you found out their name, you can like Google them and see like how good they are kind of thing.
Oh well. So it's like stat ratings as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Does it
You can
ever
at least see how.
become? Is it quite addictive poker, or is it like? Is it? Do you, is it something you do for fun and or a hobby? Or
I'd say both. It depends on your
yeah.
personality type.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a bit of both. I mean, I'm addicted to it, but it's also like not a problem. It's like also my livelihood. I mean, it's where I make most of my money. I mean, I have a few different things I do, but poker
Mm.
is my number one source of income. But I mean, I started when I was young. My mom taught me, and then I just started going to casinos when I was of age. And I
Mm.
would say that there was a time where I was a little bit more addicted, and I was a losing player when I was like in my early 20s, and I thought I was the shit. I thought I was so good at poker,
Mm.
and it turns out I was nowhere near as good as I thought I was. And I would go to work. I remember like I worked at a bar like when I was younger. I remember going to work. Maybe I made like 400, $500, and then I would go to the casino and be like, all right, I'm gonna like double, triple this, and then I would lose it all, and I'd be so, so mad at myself.
That's crazy.
And I had to borrow money from my dad one time because I just got into a little bit of debt, but it
Mm.
was nothing crazy. And then I finally started studying the game, taking it a little bit more serious, realizing I have a lot more to learn, and losing my ego. And that's a big thing in
Mm.
poker and in life. Like everyone has this ego. And until you lose that ego and are willing to put in the work or realize, hey, you're not the best and you could learn something from somebody, I just feel like you can't grow.
Yeah.
without that.
Yeah.
So I was able to do that, and I did a lot of studying, and then I kind of just leveled up, and it just kept getting better and better, and I just kept getting higher and higher scores.
That's crazy.
Um, yeah, so
It's
I'm
crazy
pretty
how you
cool.
can make something like that profitable as well, because it's not the same as like it's similar to gambling, but it's not the same. Do you know what I mean? Poker
Yeah.
is where you can still win somehow if you do the right studying, like you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's the most controlled form of gambling. Like you have the most control.
Mm,
Yeah, there's still luck. If you're talking about like the short term in like one poker tournament, there's a
mm,
lot of luck involved. But if you're talking about like the longevity of your poker career, we're talking years and you have multiple tournaments. Now there's so many decisions you can make to control your fate
mm,
over the long term because there's a big skill edge there. I mean, if you're good at reading people, if you understand like hand textures, like okay, I have these cards because this person did this, this means this. If you realize all those nuances and know how to adjust, then you can kind of create a lot more control than luck
wow,
or skill.
wow. Do you have any regrets choosing it as your career? Are you quite happy with what you've achieved because of it? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I've been so blessed and so fortunate. I can't say that I have like any big regrets in
mm,
my career. I mean, I feel like that would be crazy to say. I
yeah, yeah,
mean, it was the only like big disappointment I've had in poker was like maybe 10 minutes after like because I got second place in the main event, which is like the championship for poker. And it's like that
mm,
was my dream as a kid. I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna make the final table. And I went back and forth with like believing I'm gonna win it as a kid, or like just making the final table would have been good enough.
mm,
Obviously I wanted to win. But like yeah, after I lost. I mean, it's kind of like you don't even feel happy. Yeah, I know I would just won millions of dollars, but like for like maybe 10 to 30 minutes, I'm just like, I just feel like I was so close and it just felt like gut wrenching.
yeah,
But then after 30 minutes, then you're like, okay, wait, I just made $6 million. Like this is great, you know?
mm,
So, yeah, overall, I can't say I'm too upset. Like
yeah.
I've made big plays and big decisions. I've had a lot of different successes in poker. So I'm very happy
Wow.
with how my career has shaped out this far.
If you had won Squid Game and became like a multi-millionaire, like doubled it up, do you think you would have a
Yeah.
good reputation from the audience after? Do you think people would have been happy with the outcome, or do you think people would have been quite annoyed that you achieved that success on top of what
I
you already
think,
had?
yeah, I think there would have been more people annoyed than anything.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, I've had a lot of love in my DM, and there's people that are like, "Hey, winners stay winners," and kind of that mentality, like, which is true. Like, if you put yourself in a position for success and then you're able to do it again, why
mm,
not? And the only like people that maybe haven't had that success are gonna hate. But I think overall, yeah, I would be public enemy number one.
well,
I think people wouldn't be too
yeah.
happy. And I don't know. I don't think it would be good for Squid Game. Like for season three, I think it would be discouraging for people to apply. Maybe. I don't know. Like,
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll bring you back in as well
yeah,
someday.
that would have
Yeah,
been mad.
yeah, yeah,
That would have pissed everybody
yeah.
off. Like, let's
Um,
have them do it again.
no, yeah. Going back onto the Squid Game subject, because it's mainly what we're talking about as well at the moment. Was there a challenge that pushed you harder than expected going in? Would you say, or was you quite confident with all the challenges?
Did you say that? Can you repeat it?
Was there a challenge that pushed you, harder than you expected going in?
Um, Honestly, the last challenge, and I think everybody thought that I had like in the final game an advantage in that game,
Mm,
and I did not think so because I have ADHD and I understood that
okay.
hey, we're not going to just be standing here for 2 seconds. It's going to be a whole thing. Like I would guess 8 to 10 minutes with with the cameras in your face, and I can't sit still. So I was actually pretty worried about that one, and rightfully so. When my leg went numb, I should have like practiced this a little bit more and just like tried to sit still and before the games. But yeah, I just wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared to sit still for longer than
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
used to. Uh,
Do you think if you had Deja's position in red light, green light at the end, do you think if you were in her spot and you didn't swap with her, do you think you would have done better at the game? Because
oh
you
yeah, I
you
forgot
moved her
about
to
that.
the end, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, she really wanted the end there. I don't think that mattered. I mean, because I was never like checking to where they were.
Mm,
I was more focused on myself and like I know I'm probably the fastest one there, right? I'm the only male there, and I played sports. I am pretty fast. So I wasn't worried about having to check. And I think that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to be able to look and see everybody down one line rather than have to do this. But
Hmm.
I wasn't even thinking about that because I just wanted to make sure that I would be able to stand still myself and get into like uncompromisable positions.
Mm.
So I don't think that would have mattered.
Okay, so you don't think it might have helped you being at the end instead of her then, like, certain areas in the room can,
Yeah.
okay. Because sometimes it can distract people, can't it? It can be sort of like a mind game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I guess when Vanessa got popped like right away, that was a little bit distracting, but like in a good way. Because then I'm like, because she took off. She was
Mm.
just like,
Yeah, she was
boom.
quick,
And
wasn't
I'm
she?
like, oh crap.
Mm. Yeah.
But either way, I would have been able to see her from where I was because they were both on my right. So
Mm. I feel like she was still thinking she was in Mingle running for the doors or something at that point. And
yeah,
yeah, she
that's a
probably
good
didn't
point.
move on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she took off on that one. I didn't even know. I didn't know like
Mm.
to the extent of that in Mingle, but she
No.
took off.
How did you manage to cope with the ADHD going into Squid Game? Like, was it quite a challenge socializing? Like, if you don't mind going into that subject of it.
Well, like I mean, I guess ADHD shows differently for everybody, and for me, I'm
Yeah.
just like a very social person. But like
Mm.
as far as body, like I can't like sit still. So I'm used to like overstimulation, just like we all are these days.
Mm.
But the good thing is, I don't know if you know, like they had us in isolation 2 days in the hotels before we even got into the games, and I think that was to destimulate us and get our body like more regulated to not having anything to do. So you get
Mm.
used to the boredom. And I think that helped me a lot because at first I'm just like, you're almost tweaking out. Like it's almost you're having stimulation withdrawals or like technology withdrawals. So
Yeah.
I think that helped me a lot, kind of calm me into like not having any stimulation. So then when you are in there, you're just so happy to have conversations with people because we were in isolation in our hotel rooms before that. So it felt like so good to have conversations with people. So I don't think
Mm.
it affected me too bad because it was like regulated, I guess, before that.
Mm. What are your coping mechanisms with dealing with it in general? With the
In
ADHD.
general,
Yeah.
um,
If you don't want to touch base, it's fine, and just
I mean, there's
trying to
one of
make it a
them.
bit different.
Like if it's like hitting me too hard, like I'll just smoke a little bit of weed and that'll calm
Okay,
me down.
okay, yeah, that works.
But like other than that, I don't really have any like I think it just like it's kind of like my superpower, but like it is overly a much. So like if I have like a just a big day and I'm having too many conversations, doing too much, then at the end of the day, like yeah, I'll smoke a joint and just like that'll
Chill.
like calm my brain, shut everything off. Like but like throughout the day, it's usually manageable. It's like it's not too bad. Like I'm very thankful my mom never put me on like medication. Like we have Adderall out here, and like I feel like if you take that as a kid, that can really mess up your
Okay.
a lot of things like while you're growing. So I never was medicated. Um, which yeah, and I still don't take any medication for it. I think I handled it pretty well, I guess overall.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of opinions around that, isn't there? Because you got
Yeah,
to
yeah,
remember to take the medication as well, and
yep,
it's also different doses of it. It's like
yep,
you wonder if that really cures the brain to
yeah.
help you.
I mean, I think that's way worse for the brain than weed.
Okay.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
this is like a pill that's made in a lab, whereas weeds grown on the earth, just basic science.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's my opinion, though, right? I mean,
Okay. We've got a
there's a lot
Snoop
of
Dogg and Wiz Khalifa
yeah, they would agree with
personality
me,
here.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like you'll be posting up a picture smoking weed with them at some point down the
yeah, hell
line.
yeah. Wait, is it legal there?
And no, not in England, but
It's not. Yeah,
no, it
it's
isn't.
legal
Yeah,
where I'm at,
I
so
think
it's just
you might be able to get it
uncomfortable.
in certain ways. It depends. I don't know. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, here we can just walk in. Well, before it was like you have to have your medical card. Every state is different, but
Mm,
here in Arizona, I can just walk in,
mm.
buy whatever I want. It's kind of nuts.
You're gonna get this episode banned now.
You're just gonna have to do a lot of
Yeah,
cutting,
yeah, yeah.
cutting out.
No, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try and find where we were in the conversation. Where were we?
You were
We were
talking
touching
about
base. Yeah.
some of the games. That was
Um.
like harder.
Oh yeah.
I could say another one like Mingle was another game that was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Like
Mm,
going in, like walking into the set was beautiful. We all walked in, we're like, yo, this is sick. Like we are like, just because we had just watched season three of the actual one. So just seeing the same set almost, it was just like it was really cool. We were all excited. We're all dancing on the carousel at
Okay.
first. Like this is gonna be fun. This we just gotta run to a room. It's not that hard, right? But then we realized that's not the case. Like it's gonna be a bloodbath out here. Like if you're outside of like someone's core group of numbers, then you don't have anybody to go to and you try to run to someone else's room, but they already got a full room. There's just a lot more animosity than we thought was going to happen in that game. And right after the first round was easy because we all heard word that it was going to be six people, so we all kind of figured it out. But the second round is where it hit, where it was just like it was a random number, so people had to figure out on the fly like who they're going to go with or if they even have a group to go with.
Mhm.
So it became a lot harder than it anticipated originally.
That's crazy. Yeah, like I think it's a very stressful moment being in Mingle. It's just yeah. What's your view on everyone saying it's scripted as well at the moment? There's a lot of people
Yeah,
talking
that's
about that as
crazy.
well.
Like, I mean, I've seen people from season one saying it's scripted, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, hello, you were on the show. You know it's not scripted. Why would you
Mm,
even say something like that? Like, I think that's just crazy because it's like there's a scripted drama and then there's a reality show part of
mm,
it. And just like being a part of it and just seeing how everything went, like maybe I don't know if that's poor editing or just kind of how maybe the ending was anticlimactic with like with my, my fall and her Deja tearing her Achilles. I mean, that was a little anticlimactic, but that doesn't mean that it's scripted. I don't know. I just don't see it from that standpoint because obviously
mm.
I was in it. Like there was not one thing that was scripted. Like
Wow.
and especially like for Mingle, I think a lot of people are saying that because of like in Mingle, we are all holding each other's hands and we're like, we're not going to play. We did
Mm.
that like three different times, by the way.
Oh, really?
So they just, yeah, we were literally trying to quit because it was just so bad. People were crying, people were cussing each other out, and
Wow.
the
Was that at
tensions
the
were
first time as well? Was it like that at the first time holding hands as well, like at that point?
not the first game. It was after a few rounds. Then we
Yeah.
were just like, then they told us we had to take a dinner break in between. So we're all mad at each other. And then when we were like, hell no, we're not taking a dinner break. Like, let's finish the game because this
Yeah.
is just like uncomfortable. Let's get it over with. They didn't listen to us. We had to take a dinner break. So we're all kind of like grabbing food and just looking at each other dirty. Like the tensions are still like, you just screwed me over in that game. Like, so it was just like really, really uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Um, so then when we went back, we played another round, then we tried to quit. They didn't do it. Then we had to do one more round, then we tried to quit again. And I think that's the one they actually used for the films. And then they got us like pairing up in twos and we tried to quit. We thought we were gonna have to go to a room in twos, and that's how they got us with the marbles. Like, because we all talked about it. We were
Mm.
like, we're never going to go in a pair of twos ever in this entire show because we're all ready for the marbles things. You're like they're going to
Mm.
try to get us with marbles, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
our minds were so all over the place and we were just so heated in the moment because of the mingle thing. They got us to go in pairs of twos. Like they literally tricked us and
Yeah,
none of us saw it
they knew
coming.
what you were talking about then clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like there was nothing that was scripted. It was just like we were literally trying to rebel and be like, hey, like one of the guys was like, let's split the money. We all don't want to play anymore. We're done. And that's why I think they showed me saying it on screen like, hey, they're not going to let us split the money because like let's
Mm.
be real, it's not good for TV. Like they're not going to allow that. So there was just debate going on and they just put part of that in the final cut. But
And that would
yeah,
probably
nothing.
only be about 20 grand each, wouldn't it? After winnings, like in taxes, it wouldn't really work splitting the money. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, no. I think at that point in Mingle, it would have only been like 10 grand. Wait, yeah, 20?
Something similar.
No,
I
no,
don't know.
100.
Mm.
100 grand.
I was quite close
There
then.
was like
Yeah.
there was like 40 something people.
Mm.
So, but still that's not good for TV. Like they're not gonna allow that.
Mm.
So,
Blimey, you are good at poker and maths. You
yeah, it
worked that
took me a
out
minute.
quick.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute, how
Yeah.
much money is that?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Do you think the game would have ended up the same if you didn't give Trinity the opportunity to sacrifice himself? How do you think it would have went down if you refused that moment?
I wish honestly I would, and this is the thing. This is the one thing that I wish was a little bit different because I just don't think he should have done that. I mean, he made his own choice, so who am I to say that? But I didn't realize it until after he did it. Like I thought he was playing some mind game because they didn't show the full cut. He actually guessed the correct hand, my left hand, and I was like, okay, well, crap. But he's like, but I do want the black one, so if it's not in that hand, just tell me. And I'm like, well, shit, he's already got me. Like he
Mm,
got me right, he's gonna win this round. So I'm like, okay, well, if you're being serious. It is in the other hand because I didn't know what he was going to do in that moment. So I'm like, okay, it's in the other one, and then he
Yeah.
ended up taking it. And then it was when I sat down, I was like, wait a minute, because he started getting emotional, he started tearing up, and I'm like, holy crap, he's really gonna self-sacrifice here. And if I would have realized that he was doing that while he was doing the hand thing, I
Mm,
would have just been like, or if he would have like told us he was going to do that, being the first person, and I think this helps, but like I just didn't want to see him go. I was closer. I wasn't really close to anyone at that point, but like I was closer to him than maybe some of the other girls at that point. So I would have taken my chances. I would have been like, nope, 50-50, just pick one and that's
mm.
the one you're going to get. But I just didn't realize what he was doing in the moment. And then, of course I did want to win the round. So I wish he wouldn't have done that. So we would have played it out and just seen it played out.
Well, do you think it put it into his head though when you said you're not going to self-eliminate, are you? Do you think that put it into his head to do it, or do you think he was actually already thinking that, or is
No,
that the
yeah,
way the show edited it? Yeah.
no, he was 100% going to do it. Because he started like after he like made sure to get the black one out of my hand, he was like sitting there and he was crying. And
Mm,
like, so I feel like he already knew what he was going to do. I don't know. And I think he said in interviews, it was just like a split section or second decision that he made. And it just felt right. And I didn't realize how faithful he was and how much of a follower of God he was. Cause like the whole show, he's like, cause he's whispering to himself. He's like, Jesus, I'll believe you. I'll try, God, I'll trust you
mm,
in how far I make it in this game. I didn't even know he was saying this the whole time because he was like saying it under his breath. But
okay.
obviously watching it back, we got to see that. So he must have had some kind of premonition in that moment and just went with his gut. Um,
What do you think really triggered him at that moment to do that? Like, do you think you have an opinion of what caused his mind to do that?
um, I think he I think he feels he really, really, really loves people. And I think that he feels like he was really close. I mean, besides me, we weren't that close, but he didn't know about my poker success. I
Mm,
don't know if he would have like wanted to like sacrifice himself to save me per se, but he
okay.
was really close with the other three girls left and he loved their story and he was connecting with them pretty hard. And I think he would have felt very undeserving or he wanted to see someone else win that money just because he's such a selfless person. He likes to see other people have success. So I think it would have hurt him taking that opportunity from everybody else. Is kind of what my thoughts were on that.
Well, what would you have done? Like, what do you think would have happened if it went the other way around? Like, if you refused to give it to him, like, how do you think the game would have went out? Do you have like a
Uh,
prediction or view of how it would
uh,
have happened?
I think if I refused to give it to him or just like make him make a choice and he still got the black one, I think he would have still tried to self-sacrifice for the rest of the people, but he wouldn't have had that opportunity if I lost to him.
Mm,
And I think one of the girls would have been out because I was fortunate enough to be in the chair where I had to go all the rounds. So I had a lot of, what did I have? Four chances, four
yeah,
50-50
yeah,
chances. So
yeah,
I think I would have been okay. There's a chance I would have been, but I think I would have been okay. And I think one
okay.
of the girls would have made it. And I think that Trinity would have had a very good chance at winning the last game.
Well, yeah, you think he would have got past the last mission? Then he would have got
Yeah,
through.
I think
Well,
I think he would. I think there's a good chance he would have won it. I just can't imagine just being that close. I mean,
mm,
I wonder if he would have done it if we all would have known what the last game was. If they would have said it's a red light, green light, and it's a
yeah,
race, and like we knew that going in, I feel like he might not have done it. And he would have
okay,
been confident in like, okay, I can win this last game.
yeah,
Like that might have changed his mind.
yeah. Did you ever pre-prepare for any of the challenges going in? Like, did you ever practice any other challenges like from the show itself as well?
So that's how unprepared I was. I did not at all. And that's how like my mindset was. Like I'm just gonna go in here
Mm,
having fun. I literally didn't practice one thing. And I do regret that to an extent because like we all talked about red light, green light. That was one of them where like I in my mind, like obviously I knew that I was casted. Like even at my house, I was like, okay, there's gonna be a couple nights a week where I'll just like stop and I'll freeze for like a long period of time and then I'll take off and run and just like get used
mm,
to that. Because even as a kid, I've never played that game. I mean, it's not a hard thing, but you still have to get your body used to like these movements
yeah.
or these non-movements of standing still. I literally practiced nothing and just got lucky because like there was the gongi one where we're all in the pentathlon where you have to do the roll the die.
Mm,
Luckily, we had a superstar on our team that practiced that the entire time, so she took that. Like I didn't have to play
yeah.
any of the hard games. So like I got pretty lucky.
Wow. Wow. Going back to being a top five as well, did you expect it to be you five at the start, like in the end of it? Do you like, or was you expecting another group of people with you? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
I
what was
mean,
you
you
hoping?
always think there's maybe not everybody thinks this, but I always like even though I wasn't planning like, hey, I'm gonna win this thing, but I did think there was a good chance that I would make it like pretty far,
Mm,
just because like I think of it as like a poker tournament. I think I'm good at navigating people, so I wasn't like crazy surprised that I made it. But there was a couple people that I was a little bit surprised on. I mean, Trinity, we all got lucky to be there though. Like Trinity he got to skip a whole entire game. He got to skip the slides and ladders because he got removed from one of the teams
yeah.
and then that essentially got him a free pass in the circle of trust because he was just sitting in the room when we came in there. So like we didn't know what that meant and nobody wanted to put a box on his desk because we were like, now does he have an advantage? What does he know?
Mm,
Was he watching this? Like we just had no idea. So I don't think anyone was going to be able to or have to
oh,
put a box on his desk. So he essentially didn't have to do anything there. So I was surprised to see him there because I just hadn't made that much connections with him and been able to talk to him much. But I mean, like it makes sense. We all got pretty lucky. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I mean, yeah, we got lucky in our way. Like Deja, I don't feel like made like a lot of different friendships. Like she made friends with like a particular group, and that group lasted a while. So I think that if like more of her allies got eliminated quicker, then I don't think she would have made it that far because she didn't make like really, really far connections. Whereas like a lot of other people were making connections right off the bat when there was a couple hundred people in there and they're trying to talk to a lot of different groups.
mm,
Um, I don't think she was necessarily doing that. I think Perla was. I think she was talking to a little bit of everybody. So I'm not shocked that she made it. And
yeah.
then Vanessa, I can't say. I honestly I didn't talk to me and Vanessa are tight now, but in the games
Mm,
we didn't talk that much. So I didn't really know too much about her. So I guess that
okay.
wasn't surprising because I didn't have anything to judge or base
Yeah,
off of.
yeah. So you wasn't expecting Perla to win then?
When are you talking about when there was like when we're at the
Yeah,
finals?
win the show itself. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I was when there was five left, like I honestly when even when there was four, five, six, four, I thought it was going to be anybody's game. Honestly, I thought
Mm,
there was a big chance that they were going to just do some like crazy luck game and like this is going to be like we all draw a stick and then whoever has like the longest or the shortest wins. Like I thought it was going to be some crazy like something just
mm,
insane where it's just like 100% chance of luck. So I honestly going into the final game was like it's anybody's game. But then yeah, I mean that wasn't the case. So, but I didn't feel great. I honestly wish that that were the case because
yeah. Okay. Um, what caused your fall? Like in more detail, like what happened for you to fall like that after Vanessa? At the end, because like
yeah.
there must be a story behind it.
Yeah, everybody thinks I fell, and it kind of does look like I fell, but I didn't fall. I went down to my knees, and it looks like a fall because I did it quick and
Okay.
aggressively because I realized I was running out of time. I should have done it earlier, and the reason why I was like I gotta drop to my knees is because my right leg was completely numb, and we
Okay.
already had stood there a couple different rounds, and like my knee was buckling, so it started like shaking, and I was like. Well, I don't know how sensitive these like camera motion sensors are. I thought they were going to squib me the round before because my knee was shaking like this.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, if I don't get down to my knees, there's no way I'm going to be able to stand like another round of them bringing the cameras in your face. My leg just had no feeling in it, my right foot.
Mm,
So I actually just tried to get down to my knees on purpose, and then my plan was to crawl, but I just thought about that like in the moment. So I dropped down like after the song. I should have done it like at the beginning of the song and then just kind of crawled a little bit.
yeah.
But it was something I just wasn't prepared for, I guess, you know.
Well, I had something in my mind. Like I was going to continue the conversation, but it just randomly went. Um,
Something about
yeah.
getting on the knee, something about
Oh
falling.
yeah. No, that was it. Yeah, because you would have thought you can stop any way you want. It like you would have thought you can actually go down to your knees anyway, as long as you've stopped. Like
Yeah,
that's what matters. Like I thought that was part of the game anyway. You don't have to be standing when you stop.
yeah,
Yeah. What's the
yeah,
rule
yeah.
on
We
that?
we 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 asked them that, and they said, yeah, you can kind of do whatever. But obviously, if you're doing that from the beginning, you're not going to be very fast.
Mm,
So I didn't know. and if Vanessa never got squibbed, I would have never even came up with that plan because she was going to be so far ahead of me that crawling wasn't an option. But I
Mm,
kind of devised that plan last in the moment because I realized I did have a pretty marginal lead. So I was like, if I crawl, they're going to gain on me, but at least I'm going to save my leg. So that wouldn't have been even an option if someone was ahead of me. Then I would have been tried to tough it
well,
out.
well, before the final edit, and after the fall as well, did they ever make you keep running like after you fell, like to see if you can get any better shots in the
Like behind,
race?
oh,
Yeah.
like B roll stuff or
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, oh my God, I would have been so pissed if they made me do that in the final game.
Okay,
Oh, I would have
okay.
been so mad.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't. But I know they did that for a lot of people in some of the other games. But yeah, no, they didn't make me do anything like that. So it was just all one shot,
Well,
continuous. Obviously, they cut the cameras when they squid me, and they wipe up the floor if there's any of the ink
mm,
squib. And then they kind of carried me out. So like I didn't even know who won.
yeah.
Like I knew it was between them two, and I knew Perla had a lead, but then
Mm,
watching it back, Deja caught up. So
mm.
watching it live, I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, I didn't even know who won.
Well,
I just
well.
knew it was between the two.
Yeah, yeah. How long did it take for the doll to actually move as well? Just out of curiosity, because it looks quite slow um, when it's
Like for her
filmed.
to turn her head around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
I can't
fun
even
fact.
remember it. Honestly, it's just all a
Yeah.
blur. I think I wasn't looking at the doll. I think it was more like listening for the music for me.
Mm,
Is like I was waiting for the music. Um, I don't even know if that was synced up because I don't even think I looked at the doll at all, to be
mm,
honest. Like
okay. Yeah. Did the production team ever, cause any distractions while filming?
there was a little bit, but it was more so when we weren't filming. So there was
Mm,
nothing like during the games, there was no distractions. Like they did a very good job. There was nothing that like would have messed anybody up or anything. But I think like off camera, there was some things like I don't know if they did this on purpose, but they were kind of gave us a preview of the game we were about to play, and they
mm,
put it on the big screen. But it looked like they did it on purpose. It was the
mm,
pentathlon one, and they showed us the room. And then the guy went up there like, oops, and then he was like messing with the camera, but it was like it seemed like it was done on purpose. And that was the only thing I remember that was like a mess up, but I think it
yeah.
was not really a mess up.
Okay. What's your view on Eric's tactics? Like, were you happy with the way he handled things in the
Yeah,
show,
I
or
actually
was it a
just
bit too much?
yeah, I just did a podcast with him recently
Okay.
too. I think for him, it made sense. I don't think I can do stuff like that just because, like, if I just start lying, then I feel unauthentic and I just don't feel genuine, and then I feel like I can't be myself. But everybody's wired a little bit differently, and he's like, I've learned that he is like a gameplay strategist. Like, I think he's working on building a video game. So, like, that's
Oh
his
wow.
world. That's what he loves games. He loves like the theory and all of that. So for him, it made sense because that was his plan going in. But I do think personally it was a bit unnecessary. I think you can get people to like you just by being a friendly, charismatic person.
Mm,
Um, but I mean, it gave him recognition in the dorms, and I think it did work just like he intended it to. Because
mm,
if you're having a baby on the way, or you have a family, or you have this, people look at you like, okay, you're more deserving of the money, or
yeah.
we don't want to knock him out. So I think it did like work.
Yeah. It was almost more. It was more clever than Matthew's manipulation. I would say as well, because he started getting everyone to cry as well for him and get emotional for him as well.
Honestly, I don't know. Like Matthew says he was manipulating, but I think he was just emotional.
Okay.
I think
Yeah. Yeah. Trying
I
to
think
act
all of
tough.
his crying was real. I don't think it
Do
was
you?
like,
Okay.
yeah. And then I think he realized, oh, this is working to my advantage, and then he kept it up. But like, I think he was just very sensitive and emotional. I think his tears were all real. But then he is like, okay, I'm gonna turn it into like maybe using it a
Wow.
little bit. But I don't think that was like his game plan per se.
Mm,
But I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
mm. Are you happy with your final edit and cut of the show? Like, did you enjoy watching
Um,
yourself back, apart from dying at the end, of course?
no, I was
Yeah.
I was I was actually quite unhappy with my edit because
Wow.
it's a pretty big stretch to make me the villain. I mean, there were so many things that I was doing as far as helping people, but every single one of those got cut because I think they needed a villain. And based on how much animosity was in the slides and ladders game, it just made sense to like, oh, this guy's a villain now because and actually it was more so just the fact that I publicly talked about the money and so it was like, oh, this guy doesn't need it. He's undeserving or whatever. But like there were so many like marbles, for instance, when I was playing with Emily in marbles. Like the reason I was playing with her is because she was one of my closest allies. But they
Mm,
made that game look so ruthless. Like they made like I made a face like this sad face, and they made it look like I was kind of like making fun of her. But when I beat her, she was beating me by like three, and I had to get the next three marbles in a row for me to beat her, and
mm,
somehow I did it. And then she gives me the last marble and she's like, "You won, you did it." And, like
mm,
in her cute voice and she's smiling. So then I'm like, "Oh, like I don't even feel like." And then we held each other for like 30 seconds. We had a good talk. But in the edit, they just showed me like kind of stand up, look down at her, and then just walk away. So it just made me look a lot colder of a person. So watching it back, it was kind of like cringy. I'm just like, this is just like not who I am. I'm a very warm-hearted person. So that took me like a day or two to get used to, and then just be
mm,
like, you know what? It's reality TV. It is what it is. I still have a big showing in there, and the people that know me, the people in my life, those are the people that really care,
mm.
or that really matter. Sorry. They know who I am. So, and I know who I am. So
Yeah.
it's everything else is just noise, but it did kind of shake me up a little bit for the first couple days because I just thought there was just no way that I could be a villain.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Do you think they did the same to Isaiah then? Because he said similar as well. He didn't like his final cut and they made him look bad. Like, do you think they did that to him, or do you think that's his genuine personality, how he was?
no, I think it was no, that one's weird because everybody kind of even in the games reacted to him in that way. But before that,
Mm,
before like I didn't even know about the conversation where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna stab you in the front." That was kind of like crazy that he even said that, but I think there was probably more context and he was just saying it's everyone for themselves.
mm,
Um, but that was not the right time to do it, especially knowing that she had someone to she could eliminate. But like I liked Isaiah a lot. I thought he was hilarious. He was lighthearted. He literally went up against Max in the rock, paper, scissors and just completely saved Kate because she's a family. She's a female. She has a family. Like I
mm,
thought that was just a very big gentlemanly thing to do. And then moments later, he gets like, sideswiped. So I just thought he was a good person. Like I didn't see everyone else's view of him where they're just like, oh, he's fake, this or that. Like I liked him. I thought he was a
yeah.
genuinely nice dude. So like I can understand why he's not happy with his edit too.
The TV shows know what they're doing, don't they? They want people to see the worst in you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
for sure. It's more drama. I guess
Are
it's
you, yeah. Are you
better
ready to?
entertainment.
Are you ready to expect that going into another show? Like, do you think you'll be prepared for a villain cut? Like, even if you
Yeah.
try and change it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I think it gave me an appreciation for everybody who's been on reality
Mm,
TV before and give them a lot of grace because I've certainly watched reality TV in the past where I'm just like, man, this person sucks. And now I'm re-questioning all of that and be like, they probably don't suck. It's just, editing. So I think if I do go on something else, I'm not going to care as much. It's just going to be like,
mm,
hey, they're going to edit it how they want to edit it. Let me just have fun with it and not care because if I get hate from it. You're always going to have hate, people that are haters regardless. And that just doesn't matter. So once you realize that like none of that noise means anything, then I think you're just okay with any of the results.
wow. What advice would you give to people going in now? Like, what would you tell people applying for the show? Uh, yeah.
I'd say stay in the background if you make it onto the show, stay in the background and don't volunteer for anything for a while and don't be afraid to be yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you suck as a person, then maybe don't be yourself, but
Yeah, I like that because if you stay in the back, like there's opportunities to volunteer, down the line a little bit more, like
yeah, yeah,
to get
yeah.
the
But if you
camera
do it at
time
the
near the end.
beginning, if you do it like if you're really trying to win the money,
Mm,
don't volunteer for anything at the beginning
mm,
because as soon as you get a little bit of like presence within a large group of people, they just automatically view you as a target and they want to vote you off. So you're going to have a lot less chance of making the money. Now, if you want to just make some TV and some airtime, then volunteer for everything up front. You'll get a lot of TV time for the first few episodes, but you're not going to win.
wow, wow. And what would you have done with the money if you did win? Did you have plans? Um,
Well, I had a couple players in there that I was gonna give some of the money to.
oh
We
wow,
had
that's nice.
little kind of side agreements.
Okay,
One of them was the one I beat in marbles, Emily, and another one was Kevin. That was my ride or die guy. Um, and then I was gonna pay off my mom's mortgage. I already actually When I won the poker money, I bought her a car. I was going to pay off her mortgage with the rest of it and then probably invest some, probably invest the rest of it after that.
Well, and get your own poker business, and yeah,
Yeah, do more stuff with poker. I mean, I'm already in a good spot poker wise,
yeah.
so
Oh, that's good.
yeah, it would have just been
Amazing.
extra cash, honestly, because I'm in a pretty good spot already.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing, Stephen. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you
Yeah,
being
yeah,
here.
appreciate it.